All right, so welcome to this week's training. Tonight, I wanted to talk about developing a growth mindset and really expanding your mind to, see the possibilities and think bigger, because as you all know, we are sometimes limited by our beliefs and just constant stories that we constantly tell ourselves. I'm just going to mute everyone, sorry, so we can just get a clear recording. Cool. So what is a growth mindset and what is a fixed mindset? So a fixed mindset is kind of like when you're really fixed in your mindset and it increases the limitations that you have in your life. What is a growth mindset? I guess it's the opposite. It helps you expand your mindset and helps you learn and create success. There's an example that I read. Optimists believe that the glass is half full, while pessimists believe it's empty. And that can be said for a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset, I guess, as well. Those with fixed mindsets firmly believe that intellect is static, while those with a growth mindset strongly affirm that intellect is constantly evolving. I feel like people with a growth mindset, they're always learning. They don't believe that they've learned everything. I think if you get to that point in your life, I don't know, you're not evolving, you're stuck in that stagnant energy. So it's always good to cultivate a growth mindset to keep developing yourself and keep learning and keep growing through life, whatever life throws at you. So where does this mindset come from? One's mindset stems from your own set of powerful beliefs. Thankfully, beliefs can be changed when they no longer serve us or enable us to achieve our goals, which is amazing. So some ways to develop a growth mindset. I think I wrote down about 13 ways. So if you have a notepad and a pen, make sure you're writing some notes down. So number one, acknowledging and embracing your imperfections, loving yourself for all that you are, and, embracing your weaknesses and your darkness, I guess, if you want to call it that. Hiding from your weaknesses means you'll never overcome your weaknesses or, things that you're bad at or your faults. And embracing the good in you is amazing, and embracing the light, but embracing your faults and your darkness is even better, because being aware of them helps you actively work on them and bring them into the light and become just an even better person, in my opinion. Number two, viewing challenges as opportunities. This was a huge one for me. When shit happens in life, right? Life isn't amazing all the time. We go through stuff. Things jump out of the blue. Stuff happens. That's life. That's the reality of things. Having a growth mindset really means embracing the challenges and seeing it as opportunities for self-improvement and growth. So instead of, if something bad happens to you, instead of, complaining and staying stuck in that, mindset of why is this happening to me? My life sucks. This sucks. Really seeing it as what can I learn from this? And life is happening for me, not to me, and not being a victim from that. So really seeing it as a chance to grow, instead of seeing yourself as a victim and seeing this as, why is this happening to me? My life sucks. Those with a growth mindset excel with challenges. Challenges kind of propel them forward towards their goals, and it's kind of like the fuel that helps them rise to the top. Like Chani says in all her trainings, Chani is one of the top leaders in our business. At every level, there's a new devil. So at every level in our business, there'll be something that you'll have to overcome and grow through to get to the next level. So it's really all about learning and taking positive action time and time again. And no matter how much you fall, just continuing to get back up and playing the game once again. Just seeing life as a game. When you get knocked down, just get back up and try again, right? And meeting our challenges head on builds our resiliency to face even greater challenges in the future. And confronting our challenges makes for a smaller ego, and it brings the humility of realizing that there are things that we still need to learn. I believe that there are things that everyone still needs to learn, no matter how old you are, no matter what you've been through. So for me, this was a game changer, because whenever I used to be that girl, you know, whenever something happened or something bad happened, I just complained and asked myself, can you guys hear me still? Yes? Okay. So something's going on with my computer. Yeah, just like really stuck in that and thinking like, why is this happening to me, instead of embracing the life is happening for me and helping me grow into the best version of myself. Number 3, replacing the word failing with the word learning. So when you make a mistake or, you know, just fall short of your goal, you haven't failed. See it as you've learnt. So I love that quote. There's no such thing as failing, only learning. And failure is part of the process. And success is not the absence of failure. I used to think like, you know, to be successful, like you'd never fail. But now I realize that failure is part of the process, and it's just like when you know, get knocked down, you get back up again. And it's almost impossible to go through life without experiencing some kind of failure. For this reason, there's no point in, I guess, being scared of failing and like living life out of that place of fear. Doors are always going to open, doors are going to close, and, you know, we'll all make mistakes at some point in our life and, you know, make poor decisions. But we really need to think of it all as opportunities to help us grow. And we can't, if we let fear control our lives, I guess we might miss out on opportunities or amazing experiences. What else? Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say about failure. And yeah, accepting and learning from those insights, I guess, is the key to our success. I'm just going to check the chat. Yeah, exactly. I love the quote. I posted it on my story the other day. Success is not the absence of failure, it's the persistence through failure, which I completely vibe with. Number 4, stop seeking approval. When you prioritize approval over learning, you are sacrificing your own potential for growth. And this has hit me in the feels, because I used to be a people pleaser. I used to be that girl that would just be like, oh, like, what if, like, I'm just going to do this so people will like me, like not consciously, but subconsciously, like people pleasing, caring too much about what other people think of me, not really living my life from that authentic self and just doing it for me. All that really matters, in my opinion, is that you have your own approval. People are going to judge you anyway. That's just life. You can be the juiciest peach in the world, like that quote says, but there's always going to be someone that doesn't like peaches, right? And that's just the fact. You could be the nicest person in the world. You could be spreading love and positivity on social media, yet there'll still be some negative Nancy that wants to tear you down just because of their own insecurities, or you've triggered something within them. So stop seeking approval and prioritize your own growth and your own learning over approval. As long as you have your own approval, that's all that matters. Awesome. Number 5, become a curious learner. So act like a child on a daily basis. Live in wonder and discover the beauty of life. You know, decide today to continually focus on learning and growing, and begin by asking more questions and being curious about everyone you meet. I believe that you can learn something from everyone, even if they are like the shittest person that you ever met, the meanest person that you've ever met. You can definitely learn something from them. And I always like to ask myself, what is this person teaching me? If someone's rude to me or if someone is acting in a certain way, I always ask myself, what is this person teaching me? What can I learn from this experience? I don't know if anyone else resonates with that. Type in the chat. Danielle, 1111 here. I love that. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are resonating with what I'm saying right now. So yeah, what is this person teaching me? What can I learn from this experience? And that was a game changer for me as well, because I used to have such a short temper, and I used to blame it on like my dad. Like I'd be like, my dad has a short temper, it runs in the family, it's because of my dad. And then I realized that I am in control of the way I react to situations, and I am in control of all of my decisions. And slowly over time, I was able to, instead of like acting out of emotion and like snapping back and being like, you know, reacting from that place of emotion, which is never good, because you're never like in your right mind, right? Like if you have a fight with your boyfriend or a fight with your parents, like you really need to kind of like take a deep breath, for me anyway, and just think about, what can I learn from this? What is this teaching me? And go from there. Because a lot of the times when you're in that emotion, you can say things that you don't mean, or you just, for me, I don't know about you guys, but you just don't think right. Actually practicing that now, not taking on other people's energy as I usually take on everything. Yes, exactly right. And it's so easy to be affected by other people's moods, or if someone's rude to you, it's so easy to be rude back and all of that. So, yes. So just ask yourself, what can I learn and what is this person teaching me, and act from there. Number 6, be inspired by others. Those with a growth mindset love to see others reach success. It only adds more fuel to their blazing fire that's already alight within, and helps them continue their journey. Watching others succeed liberates their soul to the possibilities of life. And I don't know about you guys, whenever I see someone hit a big promotion in this business, I was telling Danielle the other day, some of the girls hitting their SC promotion, that really got me inspired. And I was like, all right, there is no tomorrow. I need to get my act together and get this done, right? And whenever I see another young person walk the stage as NMD and, you know, create a 6-figure income from this business and travel the world full time, that really inspires me as well, of the possibilities of what is possible. So their genuine happiness and excitement for others, people with a growth mindset, attracts and returns success back to them. It's kind of like when you put out that energy, it only comes back to you. And to really enjoy that climb to success, we cannot live in jealousy and be intimidated by others. We must commit to really being genuinely happy for the success others have achieved. And it's only by committing to this mindset that will help you avoid the whole jealousy and envy of other people and sabotage your own success. There's nothing appealing about a hater, and how we handle other people's success, especially when things may not be going so well for us, is kind of an indicator of our own maturity and belief about ourselves. Like they say, if you're judging someone or if you're saying something mean about someone, it's usually just your insecurity that is being triggered, that is coming out. I don't know if you guys have heard of this before, but whenever I find myself judging people, lately I've been saying like to myself, okay, what is this triggering in myself for me to think this mean thought, right? Because that's really what it is at the end of the day. Yes, so by thinking in this way as well, it creates an atmosphere for others to want to celebrate our success with us as we reach them as well. So the next time we see someone receive great news, don't hate, just celebrate with them, send them good energy. We reap what we sow, and we only set ourselves up for more joy in our own lives as we celebrate the success of others. Let me read the chat. Amazing, yeah. Cool. All right. Number 7, value the process over the end result. So people with a growth mindset enjoy the learning process and don't mind when it continues beyond an expected time frame. So this is kind of like enjoying the journey and knowing that you have a goal in mind. However, if you don't reach that goal by your certain time frame, just trusting and knowing that the universe has your back, everything's happening for a reason, and just enjoying the journey to get there, because you know it's going to happen eventually, right? Sometimes we're not in control of everything. So valuing the process over the end result will make everything more enjoyable. Number 8 is cultivating a sense of purpose. People with a growth mindset have a greater sense of purpose. Keep the bigger picture in mind. See the long-term vision. As humans, we want to see things happen instantly. You know, we want to lose weight within a week. We want to get a six-pack within 2 weeks. I don't know about you guys. Every time I do like ab exercises, I always check out my abs in the mirror just to see if a six-pack has magically appeared. But unfortunately, that is not the case. And sometimes, you know, people that take our product, like our amazing product, they don't realize that nutrition is like a long-term process. It's not like a medication where you take like the capsules and then bam, like your skin is cleared, right? As humans, we're just always looking for that shortcut, and that's just human nature. But really having that long-term vision, that 3 to 5 year goal, is key with this business. And what else? Yeah, just enjoying, just having that purpose and knowing that no matter what happens, you've got that long-term vision in mind, and you have that purpose and that greater mission and that why of why you're doing this business. Number 9, learn from other people's mistakes. So we always say in this business, success leaves clues. And that's why you have like a mentor, you have an upline to guide you through and show you the steps. I'm sure Danielle can say like she made every mistake under the sun with this business. And I did too, honestly, completely honest. Before Danielle was my upline, I probably made every mistake that you could have made in this business. So it's really good to just learn from the people that have gone before you. And if they're telling you to do something, then doing it, because that's what will create the success, right? And Danielle says, grateful for each mistake. Exactly. And that's how you learn. But if you have a resource where you have an upline that's done everything before you, they've got the steps, they're teaching you what to do, then you might as well follow that advice, because success leaves clues. Number 10, make a new goal for every goal accomplished. So you'll never be done learning just because, you know, you've reached your SDVF promotion. Doesn't mean you have bigger goals to reach. You could have reached the top position in the company and still you'll have even greater goals. You could have, you know, reached your income goal, but you might want to, you know, change that once you've reached it, just because you want to make a greater impact on the world. You want to do more charity work. You want to give back more, whatever that may be. So making a new goal for every goal accomplished is really important when it comes to a growth mindset, because you're constantly growing and you're constantly learning as well. Number 11, take ownership over your attitude. Sorry guys, my computer froze. I always have technical difficulties when I do these meetings. I don't know why. As I was saying, take ownership over your attitude. Once you develop a growth mindset, acknowledge yourself as someone who possesses that growth mentality and be proud of it. Let it guide you throughout your life. Recognize when you're slipping back into your ego, and let your higher self guide you to grow and learn from your experiences. This might take a bit of time if you're not used to thinking this way, but just start asking yourself better questions. For example, when you are, you know, faced with a challenge, what can I learn from this? What is this person teaching me? Or when you are judging someone or something mean comes into your head, ask yourself, why am I being triggered right now? What about this person makes me want to say that mean thought about them? And I know that everyone judges, like it's just normal. It's human nature, and that's just the way we've been conditioned. I went to a girls' school, so I grew up in like a very bitchy environment. Tiffany's laughing because she went to the same school as me. But I don't know, Tiff, if you agree, but girls are pretty bitchy at our school. And it's just like a matter of breaking out of that and just, you know, I don't know about you, but just not like fitting in and just asking yourself, is it really necessary to think like that?
100%, like not confining into their box, I think was the best thing. So you can like have an outside view on what's happening always.
100%. Yeah. So yeah, it might not happen overnight, but if you can train your mind to think differently, then you're already, in that growth mindset mentality. I guess the last few points. All right. Number 12 is perseverance. So sometimes we feel frustrated and we find this business hard and we can feel frustrated, let down or whatever, or just have like one of those down days. Not going to say that every day in this business is going to be amazing because life happens. And when that happens, it's easy to quit before we should actually quit. And the main thing is that you never quit and just keep your head in the game no matter what happens. And that's really what's going to create that success. We cannot forget that we are designed to thrive, and we really need to train ourselves not to focus on what happens to us, but to focus on what is happening for us, like I mentioned before. We really need to discipline ourselves to look at what our challenges add to us rather than what they take away from us, because we are built to accommodate and adapt. I believe that there is no obstacle too great for us to overcome, and we are truly limitless. We must really learn to believe. We must really learn to turn our obstacles upside down, so there is always a way out or another route to get to where we need to go. And when we believe that the setbacks and the challenges are temporary, we can use them to strengthen us and empower us instead of keep us down in the dumps. And the last point I wanted to talk about is being open to feedback. So the more we are open to receiving feedback, the more we increase our chances of success. Effective and timely feedback is a critical component in our success and should be used along with setting goals. This type of feedback kind of helps us determine where we need to improve and all the areas that we're already doing amazing at. There is nothing more helpful than understanding what's working for us and what isn't working for us, or where we can improve and where our weaknesses are. And the purpose of receiving feedback is to really help our performance at the end of the day. And when we refuse to receive feedback, we are really stubbornly communicating that we're not open or willing to change, be wrong or grow. And you can't really have this attitude if you want to be successful. Any successful person will tell you that, right? And that's pretty much all that I wanted to talk about tonight. Just reading the comments. Love it. So glad you guys agree. Does anyone have anything they want to add or any thoughts? Thanks, Danielle. She's so cute. The other day, Danielle gave me some feedback with some stuff for Instagram, which I was super grateful for because I hardly get any feedback. So thank you, Danielle. Does anyone you guys can put yourself on unmute and ask any questions or add any thoughts or comments if you'd like. Tiff, I know you're dying to say something.
It was really, really good. I think the one thing that resonates the best with me is that success leaves clues. I have made so many mistakes in this as well. Just you get so excited. I think it's just the excitement of everything. You get so excited. There's a new business opportunity and you start going your own path. So I'm so grateful that you reel me back in when I have to.
I love it. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I was the same when I first started as well. So all good. Just anyone else? Yeah, exactly. You're like, I want to do this, I want to do that. But it's like, just follow the people that have gone before you because they've done it before, right?
Yeah.
Ash, do you want to add anything? No? You're on mute. Can't hear you.
No, I think I just agree with everything that you've said. Like, I've been listening to a lot of Jay Shetty's podcast as well, and it's pretty much very similar what he says about, you know, the route to where you want to go might be unplanned and unexpected, but it's still going to get you to the same destination, but just sort of trust the process. So yeah, I think it's just a great way to look at things. unexpected things are always going to be chucked at you, but it's just how you want to react to it. So yeah, I think that's an important point.
I love that. I love the trust the process. Completely agree. Anyone else want to say anything? Giselle, do you want to say anything? It's your first training. She just signed up today, by the way, guys.
I'm still learning how to use this thing. It's a bit confusing. Yeah, no, I really like everything and agree with everything that you said. And I'm really glad to be part